Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Happy Tuesday. Busy video week for me, I guess, this week. So lots to say, lots to do. So so I just had a really good conversation with a friend of mine, Brian Carruthers, who very successful, same company, 25 years, good guy, crushed it in the network marketing space. I'm actually going to do, by the way, I'm going to do an interview with him next week. So you guys are going to want to scope that when it comes out, because he's not only done really well making money in network marketing, but in making his money make money, making his money make money. So what I wanted to do here is, like, it's interesting because I feel like there's a pretty big lack of financial literacy everywhere, really. I mean, the truth be told, everywhere, but in the network marketing space, what's interesting is, like, here we go, and we're, playing this game of helping people make big money, helping people make residual income, financial freedom. But financial freedom doesn't come without fiscal responsibility. I've been doing this for 35 years. I've wasted plenty of money. Fortunately, I've put a lot of money away, but I've seen people just, when the money is flying, the dollars are flying. And it's like they have zero responsibility in terms of what to do with the money. And I talked about this about a week and a half ago, a little bit different subject matter, but it's like, what good is it to teach people how to go make a bunch of money only to have them lose it all? And it can be lost. All of it can be lost. I've seen people do it. I've seen people have to sell every item, sell their home, sell their boat, sell their car, sell their drum set, sell everything because they just weren't fiscally responsible. And it begins with you. Like, if you're bringing somebody into a network marketing business, like, give me an example. Like, when I first came into network marketing, there was literally zero education on what can I write off? What can I not write off? Here you are, a lot of people go from W-2 employees, where their taxes are taken out of their check and they have very few tax deductions available to them. And in that example, to being a 1099 independent contractor, self-employed. And that really puts you into a totally different, I don't want to say system. I guess it kind of does. It puts you into the self-employed system where you're able to, you've got deductions available to you that wouldn't otherwise be available to you. Business use of home, cell phone, automobiles, meals, travel, all these things that you're spending money on that can reduce your taxable income. And look, I'm not giving financial advice. I'm not a financial planner. You should be seeking professional financial wisdom from somebody. I'm just, sharing some thoughts with you this morning, because I see people wasting their money all the time. And the other problem is, look, you got to understand this. And I want to also, for you, if you haven't hit the big run, or if you're in the middle of a big run, let me just tell you something. And I've said this many times, and I don't mind repeating myself. The run never lasts forever. The peak run. Now, I'm not saying that you can't find a network marketing company and be there for life. I mean, Brian Carruthers, as an example, somebody I just mentioned, 25 years with one company. He's never changed. He's never wavered. I have mad respect for that guy, because he's just focused. But, a lot of people come in and they get in and they get this accelerated run, and it's like, oh my gosh, I'm making 20 grand, 30 grand, 50 grand, 70, 100 grand a month. And they're spending like that's going to be there forever. Like the 100,000 is now going to turn into 200,000 a month, 300,000 a month. And it's like never going to stop. And, I get it. I get the idea of like upgrading your life, oh, I need new carpets. I need to buy a decent car. I needed, everybody's going to do that. Now I can buy a house and I can go into a safer neighborhood. Whatever. I don't fault anybody for that. I did the same thing myself. But if we're not teaching people from the moment that they join a network marketing business how to be financially literate, like, and I'm actually really curious. Like, if you're pretty much everybody who follows me here is in network marketing. I mean, there's people that are not, but I'd say over 90%. What are you teaching in your onboarding process? I know, okay, old school, write down a list, find your why, set your goals, prep your office, get your tools, make sure you're all set up and ready to go, find a place to be able to build the business, all the little things, get your script, practice, whatever, all those little things to get somebody to take the action. But I'm just wondering, do you have a section in your getting started, your launch process, where it's like, here, now that you went from W-2 employee to 1099 independent contractor, here's some resources that you need to dig into right away, because you got things available to you now that weren't available to you yesterday. Whether it's referring them to a book or putting some kind of training together for them on, like, I was 3 years into, 3 full years into network marketing before I realized, like, I could write this off and I could write that off. And I was like throwing receipts away and I wasn't saving stuff. And they were legitimate, real business expenses that, I couldn't use to reduce my taxable income because I didn't have the proof. And the proof's on you, man. If you're look, I've been through multiple audits. Unfortunately, I've been through 2 federal audits. I've been through 3 state audits. I hope I never get audited again. It's not a fun experience. But for me, going into, for example, this is slightly off subject, but still on the same subject. Me going into an audit, it doesn't feel good. It's a bunch of my time. It is, it's like butterflies in your stomach. But I've got every documented expense. Like, I am anal about that. Like, oh, what's this expense? Here's the invoice. Here's the payment from it. Stapled together in chronological order in a file for that year. So, I know people, and I will go there actually, because this has to do with fiscal responsibility. We need to be teaching people for sure early on, like, what can you write off? What can you not write off? And again, we can't be giving people, we're not financial planners, or maybe you are, I don't know. I don't have any licenses I'm not a certified financial planner, a CFP or anything like that. But, there's plenty of intel out there that you can gather. So you can, even if you're not a CFP or whatever other initials might be after that equates to financial planning, that you can provide your new distributors with enough information so they're not just, not writing anything off when it could be a legitimate tax deduction, where you are, providing them these resources. So, and then, and even telling them up front, like, nobody told me, like, if I got a $10,000 check, that 10 G's wasn't all mine. Nobody told me that. Like, think about it. You go from, making checks and you get $1,500 a week, but the actual check is $1,100 because they take out federal and state taxes. So that's your net check, gross, net. We've all seen that. And then all of a sudden you get a check from network marketing. Let's say the check's $1,500, and you're like looking at that $1,500 check. Well, the check you got from your company was the net amount, and you think, oh, here's a $1,500 check from this network marketing company. That must be my net amount? It ain't your net amount, because you still got to pay taxes on that. So the tax side of the equation is super important, like making sure, like, we're not teaching all of the tax strategies, but you gotta in your, my opinion is, when you're launching somebody in your business, it's your responsibility to teach them how to navigate a little bit. You're not going to give them the A to Z on day one, but, like, give them something so they're not completely lost. And then I think it's important to have a discussion with these people. It's early. I got to take a sip of coffee. Hang on. My almost 30-year-old Eddie Bauer coffee cup that if I were to ever lose, I would probably have to go to therapy. Probably not go to therapy, but I've had that cup for so long. It's crazy. It's older than both of my kids combined. So, like, just if you're watching me, ask yourself, I mean, are we teaching any kind of financial literacy other than just helping people make money? Because if you go help somebody make money and they go spend all their money and they didn't even think about, I have to pay taxes on this. And then they go, let's say they did pretty decent their first year. They made 50, 60 grand. I mean, that's pretty decent first year out of the chute in network marketing, made a full-time income I guess it's full-time income for some. And they spent all that money, but they didn't pay any taxes. Now they're going to have this huge tax bill. And who's the person that brought them into the business? You. Did you teach them any of that stuff? Did you, or at least, point them in the right direction? So there's the tax side of the equation, which I don't see taught very much at all, especially in the onboarding process. And then 2, it's like, what do you do with your money? Like, and I know that I did a live a couple weeks ago, or maybe it was last week, slightly different subject matter, but still on the subject of financial stuff. And I know my guy was on here. There's one guy I've invested with in particular for I don't know. I mean, Glenn, if you're watching this, how long has it been? 35 years, 36 years. So I met this guy in college, and here's a quick example. Met this dude in college. He came to me because he went to work for a company doing financial planning, and he came to me to be his client. And he came to me and he's like, hey, I want you to be one of my first clients. And I'm like, bro, I don't have any money. He's like, dude, he goes, just start with $50 a month. I'm like, I can't afford it. Can you imagine that I couldn't afford, at least in my mind, because I was habitually spending every dollar that came in. Was I going to the movies? Was I buying beers? Was I doing other stuff where I could have diverted those expenses and paid, myself first, or invested in my future first rather than spend that money? Of course I could have, which I ended up doing. But I was convinced when I talked to Glenn that yeah, man, I can't afford it. I'm not even saving anything. There's no way I can put $50 away. And I don't remember exactly what he said, but something to the effect of dude, you can afford $50. Just do it. It's only $50. He goes, honestly, if you can't afford to put $50 away, you're being, I don't know. I'm sure he didn't say stupid with your money, but probably, it probably equated to that. I'll just say that. So, and what's funny about that one account, I mentioned this, I don't know, a week or 2 ago, that one account, and I have multiple accounts with him, which is a $50 debit out of my account every month. That's happened $50 a month every month for 35 years. And it's pretty miraculous what compound interest does. What is it? What do they call it? The 8th wonder of the world. But why are we not teaching? And you should have a sit down with somebody and it's hey, how much money are you putting aside? And when the person says none, maybe you can sit down with them and have a discussion with them and go, hey, look, even before they start making money in network marketing in your business, you're going to team up with them. You're going to partner up with them. Wouldn't it be wise for you to help them if their goal is to be better off financially and to be in a better situation? Wouldn't it be good for you to not just help them make money that they're ultimately going to lose because they don't have any financial smarts? Or you can start them off on the right path because nobody's given them that path thus far. And you can help them to do it in a way where they're going to come back and they'll be like, thank you. I had no idea. And trust me, a lot of people have no idea. And we can't be making assumptions that they have an idea because, truth be told, most don't have any clue. It's scary how financially illiterate most people are. And you don't have to be an expert. You don't have to be some crazy day trader, stock expert, whatever. But just putting something away for a later day, saving for a rainy day, as they say. And I don't know. I think it's going to be good for everybody. It's going to be good. You're going to feel good about it because not only are you helping this guy or girl make money in your network marketing business, you're helping them put money away, save money, invest money, get that money working for itself. Even if it starts out small, something small is better than nothing. And then even talking to them about when they start making money, look, I drive a Toyota 4Runner TRD Pro. That's what I drive. Impressive, huh? I love it. It's a beautiful truck. I bought it because it's perfect for utility. It's a utility vehicle for me. It is a legitimate sport utility SUV for me. Could I buy something else? Sure, I could buy some $100,000, $150,000 Range Rover or whatever. I wouldn't take that thing off the road. Not where I'm going. So while I could buy, this, that, or the other, I choose not to. And there was a time where I played the game and I, needed to show the money. And I think that actually happens culturally in different groups of people where they feel the need to show the money. And it definitely happens across the board where people feel that they have to prove through some kind of visual aspect that they're making money and they have to go show it to somebody. And what's crazy is when you ain't making money, it's like you're trying to figure out how to show people how much money you're making. You're taking your Range Rover and you're pulling it up to your 1-bedroom apartment in Scottsdale that you don't even own. But then when you start making money, you don't want to tell nobody how much money you're making. Trust me, when you get to a point where you're making good money, you're not going to be like, I made $186,000 the last month and I made $3 million this year. You don't want to tell anybody that. So it's like and a great book, by the way, it was written, I don't know, probably 15 years ago, maybe longer than that, 20 years ago. The Millionaire Next Door. What a beautiful book. It's a great book about becoming a millionaire without having to make millions of dollars. So maybe what you can do also is have a recommended reading list of books that you recommend to new team members so they can begin their path towards financial literacy. What's up, Jameson? All right, let's see. It's weird because like now I'm having to do this stuff on StreamYard because, and I don't know, maybe somebody, but I'm going to change the subject real quick. I've been going live for the last 2 weeks on Facebook, and I use a DSLR camera. This is not going from my directly from my computer. This thing it'll keep spinning and won't go live. But if I do it on my laptop, on my crappy little laptop computer that's at the top of that, it goes fine. After doing quality video, there's no way I can sit there and go on my laptop, because if you saw the laptop version versus what you're seeing now, it's night and day. So anyhow, I don't know. Those are my thoughts. Oh, real quickly, totally different subject matter. I'm actually going to do a live here probably, I think, in a couple hours. But I'm doing a Speakers Academy with Chris Widener coming up in July. So we're doing this as a virtual event, and we chose to do it for this first one as a virtual event. This is for people that want to perform on the stage, be able to monetize their ideas, whether, be a good speaker, be great in front of a camera. Both Chris and I have been professional speakers for over 20 years each. So if you want to be confident on the platform, I would encourage you to register for that. We're doing it, which, again, I'll put it in here real quick. I don't even know where this, I have no idea where this shows up with this. Hang on. I'm talking to myself. I know. Don't worry about it. It's cool. I'll be good. I'm typing this in here. So I put the link in the comments, and then I'm going to do another live with him here in a little bit, but it's coming up on July 10th. Love to have you. If you think you could improve your speaking game, your platform game, then we'd love to have you. So financial literacy, do you got it? Are you teaching it? Yes or no? Maybe so. I think it'd be good for you to do that. And I know it would be good for you to do that. So just look at what you're doing. Are you helping your people out? Or are you just expecting? You can't make assumptions in this game. You make assumptions, everybody loses. You don't make, what is it? If I do an assumption, I make an ass out of you and me. No, I only make an ass out of me. I don't know where that came up, but it's not like I'm making an ass out of you. I'm making an ass out of me because I assumed that you knew something when you had no idea. So it's my assumption that I thought you knew something, but you didn't know it. And now I'm the dumb one. Don't ever make assumptions about what somebody may or may not know. Better to cover that base than skip it all together. Anyhow, have a beautiful day. We'll see you